Welcome to the Jill on Money Show. It's Monday, April 7th. My voice has improved a little bit. The markets are just getting hammered and you need some hand holding. So Mark and I are going back in the time machine, the Wayback Machine, Mark, where it is 5 years ago and we're doing daily podcasts, basically. That's how we started this, right?
That's right, except today I can't throw Theo into a little pen, now he's running around.
Oh boy, now we have to do it. So we are recording on Sunday. Markets are not yet open, but Mark and I decided that we had to do a special broadcast to do just what we said, to kind of soothe you a little bit. First by saying, this was a brutal 2 days. And also, I've been so sick. I've not been this sick in a long time. And so
you must be really freaking out because I know how nutty you get.
I know, but I was so sick that I couldn't even freak out because I was like flying on the couch and every time I got up, my head was like pounding. And I was so sick that I was not allowed on the air. And you're going to laugh about this, Mark, but I think I did some recording for radio for the network, like on Thursday and Friday. And I saw that they posted, please do not use this audio because that sounded so bad.
That's when you know it's bad because their bar is pretty low.
Oh, yeah, exactly right. So I was so sick. You'll still be here a little gravelly in my voice, gang. You'll hear it throughout, but hopefully I'm on the other side of this. And boy, what a 2-day, 10% sell-off. Haven't seen that in 5 years. Look, I've been saying this for so long. People keep trying to guess what this tariff will be. Now, once you get the news, that is when markets and investors are adjusting. It's ugly. I don't know what happens next, but I was trying to think back and I say to myself, let me go back to like the financial crisis. Does it feel like that? It doesn't feel like that to me. I don't know about you, Mark. It doesn't feel as out of control. Everything is like so precariously hanging by a thread. It doesn't feel like that. It does feel like this is major. These tariffs are the highest tariff levels in more than a century. We do not really know how this is going to ripple through the economy. We have no idea whether these tariffs stay in place for 2 days, 2 months, 2 years. We have no idea. In that respect, the unknown is really scary, but the financial system is sound. Businesses and consumers, they are in better shape than they were back 16 years ago or 17 years ago when we had the big financial crisis. And so I think that it is important to have a little bit of context, but I get that it's very scary. So how were the inbound emails, Mark, after those couple of days?
Yeah. I mean, you could sense it just from reading the emails that we received. People are freaking, especially people who either just retired or are thinking about retirement.
What if that let's just play this out a little bit. Let's go through a few scenarios. Let's say you're about to retire. Can you take it back? Have you already given your notice? I mean, that's a question. And if you haven't done it yet, then maybe you chill out a little bit and you see how things go. If you're already retired, one of the things that you'll hear me and Mark talk about so often is it's harder to take losses when you are no longer working. It really is. I'm sorry. The older you get, the harder it is. I mean, you've got to have a ton of money to be steely against these kinds of movements of the last couple of days. You really do. I mean, right? I mean, you have to be like, oh, I really don't care. I mean, everybody feels it. It's really awful. We saw indexes, down 10% in 2 days. They're down 15, 20% from the recent highs. But if you are already retired, one of the reasons that Mark and I continue to say, do you have enough money in your non-retirement accounts to float you for a year, 2 years? Just have it safe. And often we'll hear from people like, oh, it's not earning enough money, or, oh, the market's doing so well. This is why we caution against being fully invested. And also we caution against making sure that you don't have too much money invested so that you are freaking out when the market tumbles. I mean, my 85-year-old mother, who is really mostly in bonds, has called me up freaked out. I'm like, Mom, what are you worried about? You don't own that many stocks. She goes, I don't? I said, no, you don't.
Just go back to what you were doing.
Go play Mahjong. Go play bridge. Relax. And no, I can't say that because she gets really mad when I do that. And I try not to. look, I know the news flow is really, really scary. But again, if you are retired, let's say you're 65 years old and you're retired. You said, I gave my notice. Your money has to last you for 30 years. So hopefully you don't have to actually pull money out. Now, are there some opportunities for you? One of the things that I was thinking about, Mark, is that for some people, doing Roth conversions right about now can be pretty good, right? Basically converting at lower levels.
Yeah, I mean, it's not all bad news when this stuff happens. There are a lot of opportunities for people to take advantage of, especially if you have, cash sitting on the sidelines or you're thinking about doing a Roth conversion.
Okay, so can we talk about the opportunistic move you made?
Yeah, anybody listening to this show knows full well that we bought our latest home a couple of years ago, and we got a pretty high mortgage rate, which, although right now it doesn't seem that high compared to where things have been recently, but we bought at 6.25. And then with all these crazy swings last week, I said, you know what? Let me just reach out to our guy who we've worked with now for a number of years. And he quickly responded. He goes, funny you emailed me. I was going to send you an email today. So we, in a matter of hours, we did a refi. It's done.
Okay, but you have to, there's a cost to refi.
There's a cost, sure.
So what's your break even?
I mean, our loan is so big that our break even is so small. We're going to break even in a matter of months. But we basically went from 6.25 and we now have a 5.5 rate for the same terms. We had a 10-year ARM and we refied with another 10-year ARM. He offered us something lower. It was only slightly lower for a 7-year ARM. And it was only a difference of like $150 a month. I'm like, you know what? Just give me those extra 3 years. Even though I'm sure probably here within the next, year or so, we're going to refi again. But
do you think that at what point would you refi to lock in a 30-year note?
Yeah, that's a good question because he did offer us that as well. But
what was that price?
Let me see. I have it right here. He offered us a 30-year fixed at 6.125. So,
I think if it has a 5 handle, if it were 5 point something, maybe you would do it. Because I don't know if we're going much below that. Okay. So you can be opportunistic. Okay. Again, we get it. It's scary, but you can be opportunistic. There are things to do, whether it's a refi from a higher level, whether it is tax loss selling in a brokerage account. I love all the people who are like, well, what should I do with all these big gains?
Not so big anymore.
So big. Maybe it's time to rebalance. Maybe it doesn't cost you that much to do that. And again, the Roth conversion. If you are nearing retirement or need your money to pay for something like college or a down payment, and you need this money for 1 year, then within the next year, get it out of the market. I'm sorry, but get it out.
People always say, why do you guys say have 2 years of expenses in retirement? This is why. Because here we are 5 years later from when we just went through this. If it happens on I don't want to say regular basis, but it happens often enough that if you're retired or you're thinking about retiring, just have 2 years worth of cash on the sidelines. And
it's not like you don't have to be optimizing every part of your life. I think that that's really that's the misnomer in so much of this, which is it is okay to literally say, I will give upside a break and protect against my downside. And I promise you, when you are no longer earning income, when you're not putting money into your retirement account, and all of those things are not happening, and you are just living off your portfolio, a 10%, a 15% move, your $1 million portfolio is now 850 or it's 800, and you are sucking wind. Having that cash on the sidelines, that is a huge buffer to you. It's an emotional buffer, and it's the actual buffer. All right. Mark, let's talk a little bit about, I went to my Federal Reserve expert, Mark Spindell, the author of The Myth of Fed Independence, co-author. And I said, what do you think? What do you say? Did you see what the president tweeted at 11 o'clock in the morning on Friday about basically saying
lower the rates?
Lower the rates, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think the Federal Reserve is going to do?
I think for the time being, they're just going to sit back and monitor this for a little while and see what, he's been consistent. The data dictates what they do. And I don't think that's going to change.
Yeah, no kidding. And I just want to be clear. Literally 15 minutes after that tweet, Powell was speaking in a public forum. Here's the quote. Are you ready? it will be very difficult to assess the likely economic effects of higher tariffs until there is greater certainty about the details, such as what will be tariffed, at what level, and for what duration. So basically, he is saying that we are chilling out. We are doing nothing. And I think people are kidding themselves if they think the Fed is going to come to the rescue. I don't think that is. Remember, what did Diane Swank say? She said, wait 1 second. This is a Federal Reserve that absolutely is haunted by what happened in the last 5 years. And they do not want to make another mistake. That's it. They don't want to. They don't want to. So I wouldn't be counting on that. I wouldn't be counting on the Fed coming to the rescue, but I would absolutely, positively say to people, if the economy falls apart and there is no inflation, it's like we're in deflation or disinflation. Yeah, that's when the Fed's going to move. But that's not happening yet, gang.
It's only 2 days.
Oh my God. It feels like 2 years.
2 days of complete chaos.
Unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. How do we want to leave people? So, I mean, it's scary. It really is. I get it. If you got a question, of course, we want to make sure that you feel like we're there for you. And we are here for you. One of the benefits of going through these horrible situations like we're going through is to say you should remember how bad you feel, because only with that sort of seared into your memory bank will you learn lessons. My father used to say, how you season a piece of meat? You pound it with a mallet. You know how you become a seasoned investor? You go through a few different market cycles and you get pounded and you learn a lot of lessons. Right now we are with the S&P 500, we're down 17.5% from the recent high. Mark, I looked it up. You know when the recent high was? February 19th.
Yeah, I remember, because that's when we got an email from a guy saying he went to cash completely.
Yeah, that was our guy, right? And we were like, maybe he'll get back in. So maybe if you were so smart, get back in. I don't know what's going to happen next. I know we're here for you. I know that if you need anything, we really want to help you out. If you're feeling nervous, run your situation by us. Maybe you'll feel less nervous if you have that in hand. So go to the website, JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Let us know if you need us in any way, shape, or form. We're here for you. Are you a federal worker? Are you someone who's looking at a job loss? You work in media and you're freaking out. Oh, by the way, Mark, friend of the show, Terry, she bought on Friday.
No, good for her. She's learning.
There's our girl. I'm so happy for her. So I felt great about that. So if you need anything, just go to the website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. All right, Mark, it was a special episode, a Monday special report from Jill and Mark. So don't forget, you can subscribe to us on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your favorite podcasts. Leave us a rating and review wherever you listen, and try to do something nice for someone else today. People are really getting wound up. Make sure you don't get wound up. Remember what David Booth said, tune out the noise. Don't get wound up by looking at your accounts. If you're wound up, get in touch with us. Let us bring you back. Okay? We're here for you. So change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you tomorrow.